Aloha and welcome to my mini spirit chat. Today I'm going to be talking about a subject which I feel happens often. And many times people don't know that this happens. And that is spirit interference. Will most people experience this? Yes. Most people are experiencing this on a daily, weekly basis. Do most people know they're experiencing this? No. Why? Because they don't really have the awareness that it is spirit interference, and they most likely overlook it and blame it on something else. This stuff happens to me so constantly, it's ridiculous. I'm very aware of it happening, especially when I start talking about it. You'll understand how I figure it out and how I'm very in tune to when it's spirit interference. It's pretty easy for me in my situation because I work with spiritual development and work with raising people's vibrations, which brings me to the why would spirits want to interfere with you in any way, shape, or form? Like, why do they care about me? That type of thing. What? That's probably what you're wondering. Well, because they care on keeping the low vibration versus the high vibration imbalanced, and they care about keeping the low vibration dominant. So what does that mean? There's always dark versus light energies. That's just the way it goes. It's the whole Star Wars thing. They're constantly fighting to be the dominant energy, the dominant controller. And so there are a lot of low vibration entities that go around, and when they see energies raising, energy vibration raising, they pinpoint and focus on that target, and they practice lowering it. And they do that through 4 common ways. One, and these are going to be in no particular order, however, this one does tend to take the cake as most of the time, is through electronics. That is a biggie. And why that is because it's very easy for the vibration that are in the spiritual realm. It's really easy for them to cross into any type of electronic vibration. The wavelengths they can do very easily, quicker, faster than they can manifest in the physical realm. And so electronics get messed with a lot. Things like, for instance, this happens to me so much, it's ridiculous. Every time I start working on a class or a video or anything that will raise somebody's vibration, if I open a class, whatever it is, it's literally a running joke in my family. Whenever I do that, all the electronics start going haywire. It's just almost bizarre. And the funny thing is, and the interesting thing is, when I stop working on that class and maybe go tune into one of my other businesses or something else that I'm doing, or do some personal stuff on the computer, the electronics all of a sudden will not be going haywire. The internet is finally working fine. Like, there's like weird things that happen. So graphics won't save. A few weeks ago, my podcasting mic broke when I was getting ready to start a new radio show. I'd been doing my regular podcast for like 6 years. I was adding a new one. Mic broke, and it delayed that project for literally, no joke, 4 weeks. When I've opened classes, that's the only time that I will have issues with my class website. So for instance, my class website will stay open all year long for the students that are in it. We'll never ever have any troubles. But when I reopen class, that will be when there will be some issues that will happen. Students who are listening to this probably notice that when we have open enrollment, my stuff kind of like goes kind of haywire, and it just resolves itself after I close enrollment again. Phones breaking, phones going haywire. I kid you not, this happens to me all the time, again, when I'm doing something on a mass scale that's going to raise people's vibration. So websites crashing as far as working on a website, not like the other website I was talking about with classes, but like if you're working on one for a graphic or, to send out a newsletter or something, things will be having issues with that. So electronics interference is very common when you're talking spirit interference. Another common way that they interfere with you is through people. That is a little bit harder to determine for some, but people in your life causing issues or causing like some type of stress or unusual anger, or things that you feel like you need to address that's making you tense and stressed or bringing your vibration down. Like it can be friends, family, someone at the grocery store, anything. If you're going along and having a good day, it's very common for people around you to cause issues somehow, and that redirects your focus and brings your energy down. That's pretty common. Your own thoughts and negative thinking. When you're moving along nicely on raising your vibration and you start hearing maybe a negative loop in your head, or I can't do this, this is really hard, this is difficult, just like a negative dialogue, that's almost always a spirit interference. And people think those last couple ones, well, all three, they think electronics, if their internet's going haywire, oh, it's the internet company, or my computer, it's old, or, whatever happens to be with that electronic. With people, they think it's just people making individual bad decisions, when you'll notice that sometimes those people are just really good people, but they brought your vibration down for whatever reason, and it might be even out of the ordinary of you being in a good mood and then them causing you issues. The thoughts, not all thoughts, I would say, are spirit interference, and it's funny that I'm sure you guys just heard that motorcycle drive by. When I'm going to get back to the thoughts, but this brought me to another thought. When I'm doing mini podcasting, I never usually have a lot of background noise, but on this particular show, I've been working on what'll probably be like a maybe under 10-minute video. I've been working on it for over a half an hour now because of the amount of loud things that have been happening in the background, cars driving by. This never ever happens, you guys, of course, it never happens. But on this show, I am totally expecting it to happen, so I'm not going to record this again, because it will literally be like the 40th time, and it's just, at this point, I'm giving in to the spirit interference, so you guys are going to hear some background noise. So anyways, thought process, when people begin to have a negative loop, it's just too hard, and it's never going to get better for me, that almost always is spirit interference and getting into your thoughts and into your heads, but people think it's their own internal dialogue, which is not true 70% of the time. Situational blocks, where would be another cause of spirit interference, and that would be where maybe, let's just say you're trying to move, or you're trying to find a new place to rent or something, and then you think you found someone, and then this happened. Oh, you think another place is going to work, and then something else fell through. Or maybe you're looking at buying a house, and every time that you find one that you really like, then there's an issue, or it's in escrow, or there's a problem. That's more of a situational interference. And I did another show on this where I was talking about if you're on the right track spiritually speaking, which I will put a link in for, but that was another show where I talk about that, because people often think that if they come up against blocks, that it's actually the wrong path and it's a warning of some kind, or don't continue on this path, when most of the time that's not true. There's a way to tell the difference. But if it feels good to you still, but you're just running up against blocks, that's most likely spirit interference, and they love to block you for a while. And then after a while, you'll wear them down, and you'll eventually win over. Just like now, the whole rest of this podcast, since I kind of got over the background noise, will probably be very, very quiet. So anyways, situational blocks. That's another form of spirit interference. So how do you combat these things? Well, number one, you keep your vibration high as much as humanly possible. If you find that your vibration is lowering, you figure out what to do to raise it. Use those quick tips that I'm always giving you. You know, watch a TV show, listen to music. Those are some of the quickest ways to raise your vibration. Something that makes you laugh. Quick way to raise your vibration. You want to do a quick mind check and then a mind shift, and you want to raise your vibration. But one of the most important things when it comes to spirit interference is just basically awareness. If you feel like you're in a negative loop thought process, if you feel like there's people around you causing you issues, or that you're running up against situational issues and even electronic problems, any of those things that I talked about, if you're feeling like that's happening, the first thing that you want to do is do a check and go, okay, have I been doing something to raise my vibration, or am I on a path that will raise my vibration? Am I doing spiritual work? Am I learning something? Am I growing from it? Am I doing something right now that I'm passionate about? Because if those answers are yes, if you're moving in a really feel good direction for you, then and then you're experiencing any of these things, most likely you're experiencing spirit interference. And so you can do some grounding and you can do some clearing, but the biggest thing is keep forging ahead. Imagine it like kind of like you're forging through a snowdrift. They may throw some interference in front of you. The drift may be big for a little bit, but eventually you're going to come out the other side of the drift and they're going to give up, and that's going to be behind you. Because you can tire out spirit interference. You really, really can. You just have to keep pushing through it. Might be a little bit mentally exhausting, so you might need to, like I said, do some grounding techniques, jump in the shower, throw some sage around, and do some clearing stuff. But keep forging ahead if it's something that you really want to do, and don't give in to the spirit interference. Just keep raising your vibration and keep being aware of what's happening. So like I said, the difference is if it's a direction you're not supposed to go, you're going to have been having some tummy issues or not feeling really good about it in the first place anyways. But if it's somewhere to go that you're supposed to be heading, you're going to be feeling good about that direction. You're just going to be up against a bunch of different blocks and whatnot. And I am going to be addressing that in a up and coming video, which is warning versus fears. What's the difference and how you can tell the difference on that. Okay, hopefully this was helpful, and I will see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to include yourself in my Higher Purpose Learning group. Again, all links below. All right, have a wonderful day. Aloha.